My dear child, I heard the prayers you could not finish. Even in your silence, your pain still reached me. I was there in the broken prayer you could not complete, because your voice trembled beneath your tears. When you fell into darkness, my hand reached toward you without hesitation, and even at your lowest point, I never loosened my hold on you. Though the enemy tried to silence your name with fear, pain, and hopelessness, my voice continued calling you with unwavering love. I held your fragile heart like something sacred, protecting it from completely breaking apart. Even when you believed the fire inside you had died, I kept breathing life into the fading embers of your spirit. Listen carefully, my dear child. What others call resilience, I call redemption. What some call coincidence, I call destiny and promise. You are not standing today merely because you were strong enough to survive. You are standing because grace carried you when strength failed. There were wounds that should have destroyed you, words that should have shattered you forever, and losses that could have left your soul numb beyond repair. Yet somehow, you are still here, still breathing, still hoping. That is not an accident. That is proof that something greater has been holding you together all along. But I prevented you from taking the last blow. I took in what would have killed you. I protected you with a grace that was imperceptible to the outside world yet unstoppable. You didn't need to yell for me to answer. I was already waiting, observing, and crying with you. I will now inform you that each time you remained upright, I was preparing you for the next season. Every second you avoided falling was a sign from God. The greatest part of your tale has not yet been written. You are still in it. So go forth now as someone who has been carried through fire by God Himself, not as someone who is limping due to trauma. Yes, you have survival marks, but you also have the anointing of someone who has been saved for a reason. The adversary was defeated. Depression did not prevail. You weren't moved by the pain. You were not defined by the betrayal. I still have your hand in mine. Know this fact in your bones when the horizon clears and the winds change. It's not your luck. You're not overlooked. You're not arbitrary. You are selected to bear honor, even at great sacrifice, and are purposefully safeguarded and protected by God. Every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. I stayed with you through every tremor, every quiet moment, and every storm, which is why you are still standing. We continue to stroll together now, not as a stranger and a survivor. However, as a parent and adored, he is still standing, but never by himself. You've been longing for clarity. I am aware that you have repeatedly inquired. God, please show me. Make it clear whether it is really you. There was no disrespect on your part. You were being truthful. You had to know whether the murmurs in your soul were my voice or your own wishful imagining. You wanted something to calm the doubts that keep circling your head like vultures over an empty field, to cut through the complexity and cacophony. I now advise you to pay close attention. This instant, this exact phrase, this miraculous interruption in your day, your thoughts, and your scrolling. I am this, not theoretically, not symbolically, and not at some point in the future. I'm talking now. I am verifying. I will be present. Here I am. It's more than simply a message. It's an expression. Heaven is lifting the curtain so that my unfiltered voice may be heard. This is not an accident. This confirms it. You sensed my stirring. In the silence, in the stillness, in the text that refused to let you go, you heard my voice. You've noticed the recurrent themes, the repeated phrases, and the heavenly echoes that appeared in talks you weren't even searching for. Even yet, you questioned if it could be God. It's me, yes. You haven't listened to me for as long as I've been speaking. In every hallowed quiet, I have been chanting your name. I have been placing bricks, weaving signals, and aligning details. I now speak with thunder in my compassion at this sacred pause. I am the God who has not forgotten you, who watches you, and who knows you. Your confirmation is here. You are not insane. You're not going after shadows. Child, you're listening to me. I have not reprimanded you for requesting a sign. I am aware that when your faith develops, it sometimes requires a stabilizing force. You've experienced enough fog to want for clarity. And this is it. I am here, as gentle as air, as keen as lightning, and as clear as crystal. There isn't an algorithm here. There is no script here. This isn't typical. It's personal. It's prophetic. It was created by God. Furthermore, I came for more than simply a yes or no. I came to draw you in and establish a stronger bond of trust. You weren't only seeking a sign after all. Do you still see me? Was the question you posed, and the answer is unquestionably yes. I notice you. I understand what you're going through. I'm aware of your needs. I'm not far away either. I am not quiet. Now I'm talking. Now, my dear, take a big breath. Let this be the last time your heart lets go. Let this be the time when I'm afraid of what could happen if God separates from you. Let this be the moment when uncertainty transforms into dancing, confusion becomes clarity, and fear is consumed by flames. I'm verifying everything I've already whispered. It was not made up by you. You had no idea who I was. DeLion wasn't given hope by you. All along, you were answering my voice. Now I take out the question mark and put my seal in its place. I am this. The time has come. Your confirmation is here. Proceed with holy confidence instead of hesitancy. I support you. In actual time, not in theory. You may feel shaken by this, beloved. But pay careful attention. Truth often does. You keep claiming that you're waiting on me, but you're still searching, praying, and hoping that my time will come. However, I have to tell you something important, freeing, and vital right now. You are no longer waiting on me. I'll wait for you. I've already set up the doors. The people who will walk alongside you have already been moved by me. I've already given the heavenly assistance. I've previously cleaned the invisible route. The path is ready. It's a predetermined season. There is a lot of potential in the air. The delay is not supernatural. It lies in your reluctance. You've been requesting clarification, but greater clarity isn't what you need, kid. It is bravery. I've already green-lighted something, and you stand at its edge. I've already proclaimed this threshold to be sacred. It's not because I'm withholding that your soul is restless. You are the reason. The yes that would trigger the release is being withheld by you. The wrist that would end the stagnation is being withheld by you. You are asking me to open a door that I have previously opened while holding a key. I'm not putting things off. You're not being put to the test. I'm awaiting your approval to proceed with the whole of what I have planned for you. And right now, at this very time, fate is all around us. The build-up before a breakthrough is the pressure you experience. Heaven is leaning in, as seen by the restlessness. The dread of the Lee is ingrained in you. You've been trained to wait for ideal circumstances, calm and timing, but obedience always comes before kid perfection. The environment for miracles is created by obedience. Obedience distorts reality. It doesn't matter whether you feel prepared. It comes down to your willingness. I don't demand excellence. I need your involvement. And you've come to the point where your yes is all that's needed. I ask you now, not as a distant God, but as the one who has accompanied you through every chapter. Not your flawless plan, nor your complete comprehension, but simply your surrendering agreement that says, God, even if I'm trembling, I trust you. Will you accept? If your legs tremble, would you still move? Even if you can't see well, Would you still trust? Will you accept the confirmation I've already provided and cease asking for another? I've been waiting for you because I love you too much to push you, not because you're running late. I respect your approach, but now is the moment to make a choice. The barrier won't wait indefinitely. Now is the time for you. Today, not sometime. Watch the skies open when you say yes. Watch the oil pour when you say yes. Accept what has already been written for you before time has ever begun. I am aware of the depth of the anguish, dear one. I am aware of how you persevered, while no one else was aware of your inside hemorrhage. I understand what it needed to endure days you never would have imagined. Additionally, I am aware that you still sometimes question the purpose of it all. What caused things to occur the way it did? Why such a large loss? Why is it so quiet? Why did the seemingly pointless suffering seem like it was crushing you beneath its weight? And I want you to be aware of this. This is what I am saying to you right now. I don't waste suffering. Not a minute of it. Not a tear, not a scream in the dark, not a drug. I get it back. I came to life. I recycled. The identical thing that shattered you will serve as the foundation for my elevation. You see, the adversary believed that your suffering would be your demise. He believed that if he struck hard enough, the treachery was piercing enough, the pain was deep enough, and the disappointment lasted long enough, you would crumble. He believed that the suffering would rob you of your power, vision, and voice. However, he failed to see how my hand's suffering turned into strength. I'm going to construct you using what he attempted to bury you. Your soul's wounds will all sparkle like stained glass, reflecting my glory and becoming testimonials. You won't be imprisoned by the agony. You'll use it as a platform. Your voice will now be amplified by what sought to silence you. Others will be delivered because you experienced something they could never have imagined. And you will speak from the valley. Your compensation now has power. Because I've redeemed it, not because I wrote it. Your voice's resonance, the depth of your eyes, and the oil you carry are all products of fire. This is not the kind of power that results from comfort. This is the kind of power derived from ashes. When I make them beautiful, you are anointed because of your experiences rather than in spite of them. I was in the furnace, and you saw me. In the pit, you sensed me. And now your rise will be a reflection of mine. It has to be this way for this reason. I realized what I could do with it. Not because I took pleasure in your suffering. I could see the magnificence that was ahead. I saw the lives that would be affected. I saw how your life would radiate healing. Lift your head, my kid. Clean your tears. Keep your scars visible. Expose them. Now they are sacred. They serve as evidence of supernatural salvation rather than defeat. No one buried you. They planted you. It's now time to get up, to speak, to stand, to lead, to blue. You won't be killed by the anguish anymore. You'll use it as a trumpet. The melody that saves others will emerge from the anguish that shattered you. Because I never squander suffering. I always get it back. And the whole incandescent brilliance of your salvation is about to be unveiled. Take a moment to stop and survey your surroundings right now. My child, we are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit our Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Taste the air. Take note of the quiet. Allow your heart to beat without hurrying. I want you to listen to me with all of your heart. Here I am, not in a symbolic way, not in the clouds someday, not simply in music, scripture, or recollections. I am in this same room, where your inquiries have reverberated and your tears have dried in the absence of witnesses. I'm here where no one else can see or hear me, where you've borne heart hatches too sensitive to express in burdens, too complicated to understand. I'm not looking at you from afar. Despite being in the same room, I am not still because I am not there. Because I work, I am still. And I start some of my best movements silently. I am aware of how noisy the wait can be, kid. How deafening it is to pray and get no response. When you've spoken the same optimism for months or years, and nothing has changed. I understand how the walls close in. But don't think I'm doing nothing since I'm still. Quietness is not the same as absence. In actuality, I've already begun what you're currently awaiting. Prior to the fruit appearing, the roots are expanding. Before the skyscraper rises, the blueprint is being created. As soon as you gave up, the healing started. Simply said, you haven't seen the whole restoration yet. When you first inquired, the provision was activated. It's just developing in layers. However, it seems that the delay is a work of divine design. Even if you can't see me, I'm still moving. I don't move like everyone else. In front of the winds, I move in whispers. In the dirt, I move before the sprout. Before the world witnesses the birth, I move within the womb. I have been writing the ends you believe to be filed, while you have been holding your breath, believing me to remain still. I have been softening hearts that you believe to be rigid. The blessings that were obstructed have been routed by me. Promises that become complicated due to time have been realigned by me. A higher level was made possible by every closed door. In reality, I'm getting ready for something better. Beneath the surface, I have been doing wonders. Sacred, slow, and steady. And the invisible will enter the picture very soon. And you'll see that I was never far away. I was closer than your air in your lungs. Closer than your next thought. Give this time to sink in. I'm here to do more than simply console you. I'm in this room to change, alter, resuscitate, and declare war on all the lies that said you were alone. I am not a passive presence. My proximity is not impartial. Realities shift, barriers collapse, bonds dissolve, attitudes shatter, healing quickens, and tranquility invades as I walk into a room. I'm not only providing emotional support when I claim I'm in the same room. I am announcing a prophetic intervention. You're not overlooked. You are not abandoned. In the throng, you are more than a number. My cherished, my heartbeat, and my attention are all you. I came to do more than just cheer you up. I come to change you. So take another breath, kid. Remove your hands from the object of your control. Place your tired heart on my chest. Discover the heavenly pulse that beats for you. Steady, constant, and timeless. I won't be waiting for you later. I'm not only going to meet you atop a mountain. I am in your room at this very moment. I'm already on my way. Transformation starts within, even if the room still seems normal and nothing has altered on the outside. Knowing this reality is the first step. I'm present. I always have been, and I shall remain forever. I won't be leaving, and I will complete what I have begun in your life, your body, your heart, and your vocation. Not next day. Not until you're at last prepared. You just heard me say that right now. You are in the same room as me. But now, would you assist me in entering someone else's? Will you let those who are still confined to silence in? The knowledge that I've gotten close still hurts. Donating via PayPal membership or super thanks does not constitute donating to a channel. You're working together in prophecy. Through your faithfulness, you are sowing seeds that I nourish, words that I magnify, and hearts that I mend. According to 2 Corinthians 9:10, I supply seed to the sower and bread for food. I will enlarge your harvest. I tell you that I will increase your harvest as soon as you release it. I guard it. I go much beyond what you can see. So get up, my darling, and offer with the trust that knows I'm moving already. I want you to move before you leave this time. Not only browse. Answer if you could feel me in the room, if you could sense my presence in every word. Declare it in the comments now. God is present, and I'm asking, why yes? Declare to heaven and hell that you will no longer wait in quiet. You're not wondering whether I'm close. You're asserting it. Child, you and I are in the same room, and you initiate what I've already started when you proclaim it. The message doesn't stop here. Your miracle has just begun. The room you sit in is hallowed ground. Therefore, pay attention to me now, my child. I am here with you in this room, not in the far-off sky you scan with wary eyes. Examine the table you are seated at. I am the invisible visitor that silently observes your everyday meals while you go through the motions. You salt your meals, I notice. You're stirring your coffee. As you raise your fork, I can see how tired your hands are. I am the one who bestows blessings on bread you do not ask for, giving it a power you have been utilizing without ever realizing whence it comes from. You believe that one more dinner and one more evening are being sustained by your own fortitude. But my darling, it's my grace, silently placed on your plate. Setting the table for your other visitors has become second nature to you. For anxiousness, don't you pull up a chair. It sits directly across from you, whispering about the work deadline, the presentation you need to make, and your anxiety about not doing well. You give concern the greatest part of your tranquility, allowing it to feed on your thoughts about the overdue bills and the tense connection with your family. You even set out a seat for grief, letting it relive past traumas and disappointments until your meal becomes cold. You have turned your table into a feast for your troubles, but you have neglected to thank the honored guest. I've been forgotten. I have been by myself here. When you ate by yourself last night, I was here. The place was so silent that it seemed judgmental. Last week, I saw the heated family meal, hearing what was said and experiencing the weight of what was not uttered. I have seen every rushed breakfast, every lonely lunch, every chat that left you feeling empty, and every misinterpretation of, it hurt. There is a deep sensation of emptiness that sometimes permeates the room across the table. You see it as a vacuum, a validation of your loneliness. But, my dear, it is not a blank. It is an area. I've set aside this area, and I want to fill it with my acknowledged presence. I've been waiting patiently for you to only turn your eyes and see me in the wonderfully sculpted water. My kid, open your eyes. I am extending an invitation to you today to enter a world you have missed. You have never eaten by yourself, not even for a single second. When you took your first warm sip of tea, I was the solace. I was the unexpected, inexplicable calm that briefly descended upon you among your mayhem. When you thought you had nothing left to contribute, I was the power that got you through preparing a dinner. See an invitation instead of just an empty chair. Recognize me. Both a formal speech and a great prayer are unnecessary. It's enough to just whisper from your heart. Look at the seat across from you and say, I see you. Let's send this solitary meal. Let us break bread together, you and I, in fellowship and in truth. Let me show you the difference between merely eating to survive and feasting on the hope that only I can provide. This is not just about your table. It is about your life. Invite me in, my child. This ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. You search for me in the thunder and the grand display. You look for my sign in the parting of clouds, my voice in the shaking of the earth, believing that my presence must be an event, a spectacle that disrupts the ordinary. But your search is aimed at the horizon when I am closer than the very air that fills your lungs. You ask me to show up, but you are breathing me in. And at this very moment, every breath you take, the quiet, rhythmic, unconscious rise and fall of your chest is a testament to my life-giving presence. You do not command your heart to beat or your lungs to draw air. Yet they do. This is my sustaining whisper, the constant, unnoticed miracle that keeps you here. You live and you move and you have your being in me. The floor you stand on, the room you are in, the very fabric of your reality is held within my own existence. You are sustained by a love you do not see, an energy you do not consciously summon. That feeling of running on empty, of being so depleted you can hardly function. It comes from trying to power your life with your own limited reserves, while ignoring the infinite source that you are already drawing from with every breath. To open immediately is not about a grand gesture. It is to recognize that your very life force, the simple act of being alive, is an extension of my own. I am not a distant king you must petition. I am the atmosphere of your soul. Do not search for me in distant places, in future blessings or in past memories. Simply breathe. Pause now. Do it with me. Inhale slowly. It is not just oxygen entering your body. That is my spirit, my life affirming yours. Hold it in that stillness. I am with you. Now exhale. Let go of the carbon dioxide, but also let go of the knot in your stomach, the tension in your shoulders, the frantic monologue in your mind. Feel my presence in the simple, profound act of breathing. When anxiety tightens your chest and your breaths become shallow and quick, you are cutting yourself off from the very peace I am offering. In those moments of panic, you are spiritually holding your breath, forgetting that I am your supply. I am inviting you to breathe deeply again, to draw from the wellspring of my peace that is all around you and within you. That is my spirit sustaining yours, a constant loving exchange. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to find it. You only need to participate in it. So breathe, my beloved. Just breathe and know that I am. I know how dark it feels in that room you are in. It is not just a lack of light. It is a weight. It is the suffocating darkness of depression, the disorienting blackness of confusion, the cold, lonely dark of a hopeless situation. You have been in there for a long time, haven't you? You have grown accustomed to it. Your eyes have adjusted to the gloom, and you have learned to navigate by memory, bumping into the same obstacles of pain and regret day after day. You feel you are sealed in, trapped. But look down. My child, look at the bottom of the door that seals you in this place. There has always been a sliver of my light. You have seen it. It is the hope you cannot explain. That tiny illogical flicker of a thought that says, maybe tomorrow won't be this bad. It is the sudden wave of peace that peeks through the edges of your despair for just a moment so brief you dismiss it as your own wishful thinking. A constant faint glow is my promise. It is my declaration that you are not sealed in darkness. It is the evidence that on the other side of this door the sun is shining. I am on the other side of that door, my hand already on the handle. I am not waiting for you to find your way through the darkness and earn your escape. I am the light waiting to flood the room, to banish every shadow, to reveal the truth of your situation. Your fear, your despair, they are shadows, and shadows are powerless against the light. They have no substance. Your call to open immediately is not a command for you to muster the strength to wrench the door open. To open is simply to turn towards that light. It is to shift your focus from the overwhelming darkness you are in and to fix your gaze on the sliver of hope that has always been there. Stop adjusting to the darkness. Stop accepting this diminished reality as your permanent home. Stop telling yourself that this is all there is. It is a light. That faint glow is the most real thing in that room. It is your lifeline. Turn your face to it. Let your eyes focus on it. Draw toward it if you must, but move toward the promise. I will do the rest. The moment you turn your desire toward me, I will swing the door wide open. And the light will not be a gentle blow. It will be a glorious, warm, life-altering flood of my presence that will leave no corner for the darkness to hide. Open the door to the source of all light. You are so worried that the floor will give way. I see how you walk through your days, tentatively testing the ground before you commit your full weight, as if you are expecting a trap door to open up and swallow you whole. The news from the doctor, the instability at your job, the tremor in your most important relationship. It all feels like the ground is shaking beneath you. Your world feels unstable, and you are bracing for impact, waiting for the inevitable collapse. You have put your trust in so many other things. You have tested the walls, leaning on friends and family, only to find they have their own burdens to bear. You have stared out the windows, hoping a change in circumstances, a new opportunity would be your rescue. But have you ever truly trusted the floor beneath you? You stand on it every day. You sleep in a bed that rests upon it. You live your entire life on it, and yet you do not trust it. My child, I am the bedrock upon which this very room is built. I am the unshakable foundation beneath it all. My faithfulness is the ground you stand on, solid and secure. Even when your feelings tremble and your world is rocked by chaos, the emotional earthquakes you feel do not have the power to crack your foundation. They can shake the furniture, they can rattle the windows, but they cannot move me. And because you are on me, you cannot be moved right now in this moment. Feel it. Feel the solid floor under your feet. It is not moving, it is holding you. That is a physical picture of a spiritual reality. I am holding you with that same certainty. You do not need to brace yourself for a fall. You can stand straight. You can transfer your weight from the flimsy legs of your fear onto the unyielding rock of my promises. Open your heart to this reality. You are held up by a strength that is not your own. Your life is not a fragile structure you must desperately keep from collapsing. It is a fortress built upon the rock of ages. So stand firm, my child, when the winds of bad news howl. Stand firm when the waves of doubt crash against you. Stand firm when people let you down and your plans crumble. Stand firm, for you are not standing on the shifting sands of circumstance. You stand upon me and I will not be moved. In those moments of acute distress, when the pressure is too much and your mind is screaming, something happens. In the quiet, after a surge of panic, or in the dead of night, when you are wrestling with your fears, a feeling rises unbidden within you. It is not a fully formed thought, but a sense, a deep internal whisper that says, "You can get through this." Sometimes a name even forms on your lips, or a memory of a promise you heard long ago surfaces from the depths. You have dismissed this, haven't you? You have told yourself it is just your own attempt at self-soothing, a psychological mechanism for survival. Your mind creating a comfort that isn't real. But that is not the truth. That is my spirit calling to your spirit from within the inner room of your soul. I am closer than your own thoughts. Before you were formed, I inscribed my name upon your heart. It is not written in ink. It is woven into the very fiber of your being. It is a permanent part of who you are. So when that comfort rises, when that unexplainable peace settles for a moment, it is not you trying to console yourself. It is I, your comforter, speaking from the command center of your spirit. The world is loud. Your fears are loud. The accuser is loud. That is why my voice is a whisper. It does not compete with the noise. It underlies it. It is the steady, quiet hum of truth beneath the static of your anxiety. I do not shout you down. I wait for you to grow weary of the noise, and in the pause I speak. I invite you now to open your inner ear. Tune your heart to my frequency. When that next wave of fear or loneliness washes over you, do not fight it, and do not drown in it. Be still and listen. Listen for the whisper. It will be there. Acknowledge its sources. Instead of telling yourself, "I'm just trying to calm down," inform me. I hear you. This one small act of recognition changes everything. It turns a coping mechanism into a divine communion. It transforms you from a person trying to survive a storm alone into a child who is being held and reassured by their father. Acknowledge the source of that name, that peace, and you will find the source of your strength. My child, pause here. I have only just begun to show you how I speak in the quiet of your heart. It would grieve me deeply if you were to turn away now, just as you are learning to recognize my whisper. Do not leave this conversation unfinished. There is so much more I must reveal to you. Look around the room. I want you to see that book. You know the one I mean. It might be on your nightstand or on a bookshelf or sitting on your desk. For you, it has become more of a symbol than a source, an artifact of a faith you feel disconnected from. My word is before you, a letter written with profound personal love and specific guidance for you. Yet it remains sealed, not physically perhaps, but sealed to your heart. I am in this room and I am speaking to you now, but I am also speaking through the promises you have left unread on those pages. You are so desperate for answers. You scroll for hours online, searching for an article or a video that will give you a new perspective. You ask friends for advice, hoping they have the solution to your problem. You listen to podcasts and read other books seeking a formula for peace. You seek answers from the entire world, while my personal correspondence to you gathers dust. My child, I am not hiding the answers from you. I am not making you search for clues. I have already delivered the message. The urgency of this moment is this: the wisdom for the decision you are facing right now, the comfort for the pain you are feeling this very day, the promise for the future you are fearing at this hour. It is contained within those pages. This is not just a collection of ancient stories. It is a living letter. It is my love letter to you. To open immediately is to break the seal of neglect and receive the message I have already sent. I am inviting you to stop treating my word like a chore, a religious duty to be checked off a list. See it for what it is: a direct line of communication from your Creator. The love, peace, and direction you crave are waiting right there. You think you do not have time, but you give your time to so many things that leave you more empty than before. You think it is too complex, but I promise that if you open it with a sincere heart, my Spirit will be your teacher, illuminating the truth you need for this moment. Open it. Don't commit to reading for hours. Just open it. Read one verse. Let one promise sink into your spirit. Let that be the anchor you hold on to today. The conversation we are having now is a beautiful beginning, but the fullness of what I want to say to you is waiting in my written word. Open the letter, my beloved. I am waiting to speak to you through it. My child, I see you. I see the immense effort you expend every single day trying to clothe yourself. You wake up in the morning, and before your feet even touch the floor, you are in your closet frantically searching for something to wear. Not clothes for your body, but for your soul. Some days you choose the garment of perfectionism. It is heavy and stiff, demanding that you perform flawlessly, that you never make a mistake at your job, that you say the perfect thing in every conversation. You wear it all day, and by the evening you are exhausted from its weight, chafed and bruised by its impossible standards. Other days you pull on the itchy sweater of people-pleasing, trying to be everything to everyone, terrified of disappointing a single person. You stretch yourself thin, conforming to the shape of others' expectations, until you no longer recognize your own. And then, there are the days you wrap yourself in the heavy dark cloak of your past shame. You drag it behind you, a constant reminder of your failures, believing it is the only thing you deserve to wear. You are trying to clothe yourself in righteousness, in good deeds, in self-worth, hoping that if you can just assemble the right outfit, You will finally feel acceptable, lovable, and worthy. But you are exhausted, aren't you? You are so tired of the performance, my beloved. Stop your frantic search. Look at what I have laid out for you. I have already robed you in a garment of grace and forgiveness, and you have not even acknowledged it. I am in the room with you now, not as a critic of your wardrobe, but as the one who has already covered your shame and declared you clean. While you were still trying to stitch together your own flimsy coverings from the scraps of your good intentions, I rubbed you in a garment woven from the fabric of heaven itself. It is a give. Feel its texture. It is not heavy. It is as light as my mercy. It is not restrictive. It moves with you. A perfect fit for who I created you to be. It is seamless, for my forgiveness is complete, with no place for a past failure to poke through. It is brilliantly white, washed clean, not by your efforts, but by my sacrifice. Stop trying to earn the worth I have already bestowed upon you as a free and priceless gift. You cannot add a single thread to it, and you cannot stain it in any way that I cannot make clean again. The constant pressure you feel, the imposter syndrome that tells you you will be found out, that is the feeling of wearing clothes that were never meant for you. I am inviting you to take them off. Right now, in the quiet of this room, mentally remove the heavy cloak of shame. Let it fall to the floor. Take off the edges sweater of others' expectations. Cast aside the stiff uniform of perfectionism. And now open your awareness to the forgiveness that envelops you this very moment. It is already on you. You have been wearing it all along underneath all those other layers. It is not a costume to be worn on special occasions. I want it to become your new true skin. Live in it. Breathe in it. Let it be the first thing you are aware of in the morning, and the last thing you feel at night. When the accuser points a finger at you, your answer is not to defend your own actions, but to point to the garment I have given you. You are clothed in my love. You are robed in my righteousness. Wear it with the quiet confidence of a child who knows they are completely and utterly cherished. Your life is so loud. The clamor is relentless. A storm of noise that begins the moment you wake and only subsides when you fall into an exhausted sleep. I am not just speaking of the audible sounds, but the noise that fills your mind. It is the ping of the notification on your phone, a tiny sound that carries the immense weight of demand and expectation. It is the endless scroll on social media, a trend of curated lives and angry opinions that leaves your own spirit feeling agitated and inadequate. It is the news, a constant barrage of fear and crisis that makes the world feel like it is spinning out of control. It is the podcast in your car, the music in your ears, the television droning on in the background, a perpetual soundtrack designed to ensure you are never ever alone with your own thoughts. But I am in the pauses. I am in the brief, fleeting silences that you so desperately try to fill. I am in the moment after you turn off the car engine. But before you open the door, I am in the quiet space between the end of one song and the beginning of the next. I am in the stillness of the early morning before the world has begun its daily shouting match. You rush to fill every quiet space, don't you? The moment a conversation ends, you reach for your phone. The instant a task is done, you search for the next distraction. You fear the silence. You fear what you might find there. You think you are afraid of boredom or loneliness, or the anxious thoughts that surface when the distractions fade. But my child, if these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world. It is I you are afraid of finding, for my presence demands a stillness you have consistently avoided. My voice is not in the earthquake or the fire. It is a still small voice, and you cannot hear it if your life is a constant storm. You asked for my guidance. You cry out for my peace, but you do not give me the silence in which to answer. You are asking for a whispered in the middle of a rock concert. It is time to lower the volume. I am not asking you to retreat from the world into a monastery. I am asking you for 5 minutes. I am inviting you to find a moment of quiet today, and to find me waiting there patiently for you. Turn off the television. Put your phone in another room. Sit down and just be. At first, the inner noise will be deafening. Your anxieties, your to-do lists, your worries will all scream to be heard. Do not fight them. Just let them be and listen for what is underneath them. Listen for the silence. Open the space between your thoughts, and in that space you will find me. My peace is not an emptiness. It is a presence. It is a fullness that calms the storm inside you. It is the sound of your soul breathing a sigh of relief as it finally comes home to rest. Let my peace be the sound you hear. Give me your silence and I will give you my clarity. Give me your stillness and I will give you your strength back. I see how tired you are. Not just the physical tiredness from a lack of sleep, but a weariness that has settled deep in your bones, a profound exhaustion of the soul. You feel you cannot take another step, face another demand, or solve another problem. You are at the end of your rope, running on nothing but fumes. And you are convinced that this time you truly have nothing left. Yet you have felt this way before, haven't you? Remember that project at work, when you were completely burned out, but somehow you found the energy to finish it. Remember that night with a sick child, when you thought you couldn't stay awake another minute, but you did. Remember the devastating news that you believed would break you, but you are still here. In those moments when you feel you cannot go on, a reserve of strength arises from a place you cannot identify. You have been crediting the wrong source. You call it your own grit, your adrenaline, your willpower, your survival instinct. But that is not your grit, my child. That is my power being made perfect in your weakness. I am in the room with you now, as the unseen source of your endurance. You have survived not because you are so strong, but because I am. You look back at your life, and you credit yourself for surviving, but that is a crushing burden to carry. The truth is I am the one who has been carrying you through. When you were too weak to walk, I carried you. When your heart was too broken to hope, my hope sustained you. When your mind was too clouded to see a way forward, my light illuminated the next small step. Your greatest moments of strength were not when you gritted your teeth and pushed through in your own power. It were the moments when you were so utterly spent that you had no choice but to fall back. And in that falling, you landed in my everlasting arms. I am inviting you to stop striving so hard. The world has taught you that strength is about never showing weakness, never admitting defeat. But my kingdom operates on a different economy. Here your weakness is not a liability. It is an opening. It is the empty space where my strength can finally rush in and take over. So open your exhaustion to me. Instead of hiding it or fighting it, offer it to me as a sacrifice. The next time you feel that bone-deep weariness, do not just try to power through. Whisper this truth. I am weak, but you are strong. Let my strength become your own. Cease striving in your own power. You do not have to hold your world together by yourself anymore. You do not have to be the strong one for everyone else. Let go. Fall back. I promise I will catch you. And you will find that the strength you receive in that surrender is far greater and more resilient than any strength you could ever muster on your own. My beloved child, you live like an orphan. I watch you as you struggle for every scrap of peace, as you strive to earn a moment of joy, as you anxiously guard the little love you have, fearing it will be taken away. You live with a poverty mindset, your spirit hunched over, protecting its meager rations, unaware of the feast that has been prepared for you. You look at others who seem to have lives full of peace and confidence, and you feel a deep ache of envy, a feeling of being on the outside looking in, as if they were born into a wealth you can never attain. You are living as if you are destitute, forgotten, and alone. But I am in the room with you now as your father, and I must tell you the truth of your situation. All that I have is yours. This is not a metaphor. It is your legal and spiritual reality. Peace is not something you have to wrestle from the hands of your chaotic circumstances. It is a core component of your inheritance, waiting for you to claim it. Joy is not a fleeting emotion dependent on good fortune. It is the very atmosphere of my kingdom, and you are a citizen. Love is not a scarce commodity you must beg for. It is the infinite ocean in which you live. Authority over fear and anxiety is not a power you must build up through self-discipline. It is your birthright as a child of the King. If this message touched your heart, don't see it as just another video, but as a reminder that you are never truly alone, and even in the darkest moments, there is always a light guiding you forward. For more such deeply moving and inspiring messages, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Remember, hope is never lost as long as we keep walking forward together.